Good day. I'm Gail Hunter. Panoramic Poetry is a spoken word venue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Once a week, poets come to read and listen to the spoken word. Here are some highlights from past Panoramic Poetry gatherings.
So we're going to keep it growing, keep it flowing, keep it grooving, keep it moving. Let's just have a little talk real quick, shall we? What's going on in the world today? What's happening that y'all want to talk about that's want to get off your mind? I mean, I saw that poem, Precious, you did that last piece about being a tree and strong. And, you know, it's just so ironic you did that piece because recently I was just thinking about how strong trees look in our society when you see them, the real big ones that look like they've been around forever. And then just as simple as that, Mother Nature comes through with a storm and upends them. And you think to yourself, wow, anything is possible. I mean, that tree has stood to get that big and to get that thick and to grow to be that big. That's years. Years. And all it took was for Mother Nature to come through and just knock it right down. What we getting right, sir?
Shallow roots.
Shallow roots? I heard that. Very good perspective. Anything else going on?
Speaking of shallow roots, it was a poet last at Panoramic downtown that had a wonderful line about the roots of insecurity in your ancestry.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell it so badly. That was such a great line, and it spoke volumes on the way a lot of people are feeling growing up. That spoke volumes.
She was talking about Black Beauty. Black Beauty did that piece, and she talked about the roots in our ancestry and how, in essence, what she was saying, somewhat paraphrasing, these are just my words of what I took from it, because with each poem that a poet writes, there's a message behind their poem, but sometimes the reader takes different things from it that's beneficial to them, and then sometimes it's what the poet intended for the reader to get from it. What I got from when I heard that piece is just an example of your roots and your ancestry are what makes you who you are. So if you have a lot of negative energy, negative karma, racism in your family tree, if you're not careful, those same roots will then in turn get you, and that's what you'll represent for the tree. If you got a lot of positivity, a lot of love, a lot of compassion, a lot of patience, then that's what you will definitely bore when it's time for the fruit to bear, when it's time for the tree to bear fruit. That's what will come about. And we all are representations of our tree. Now, maybe at this point in our lives, some of us are still the fruit that the tree bears. But other people, they're at the point of their lives where they're bearing fruit also to add on to the tree. So they're just one more limb, one more branch. If you have children, to then in turn increase it. So that's what I took from the piece when she rocked it out. Other people may have taken something different, but that is also true, though in its own way.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. I think as Black people and also as Native American people, I don't know if anybody has any type of ancestry like that, but I do have a strong Native American ancestry, and it's like we were raised like that. We were taught that we were strong, passionate, very spiritual, spirited people, and I think that when Black people live up to their expectations, when they live up to what they can be, that all comes out. But I think we're just not living up to who we really are. So that's where you get all the negativity in our lifelines too.
I agree with that.
And that self-hate that all comes out. But,
fear is such a strong thing because what people don't understand or don't know, they fear it, so they attack it. Rather than at least just being patient and open enough to just let it be, to see what it can be before you already make presumptions and to assume what you think it's going to be. And that in turn takes us down a negative path when we let fear encompass us like that. And to piggyback on what she said, look, I'm quick to let everyone know I'm half American, half West Indian, half Haitian on the West Indian side. So just like I go to Juneteenth celebrations to mark the day that African Americans were set free, I also embrace my Haitian side on our day when we revolted to get freedom. Because I don't know if you know the history, but in Haiti, the slaves there, when the French held them down, they revolted and got their freedom. They had an uprising. We ain't gonna take this, but we got sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's what happens when you want some change. You get sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's what poets we do. We write about it. We put it on paper. I always say poetry saves lives. Poetry saves lives. I know many of you can sit in here and attest to having a rough week at the job, whether you had to deal with some anal coworker, a anal boss, just dealing with people, customer service, people giving you a hard way to go when you're not the reason, but you're the problem solver. You weren't the problem creator, and you want to get through the day, and sometimes it's so frustrating that you want to lash out. Poetry, writing about it, poetry, putting it down, makes it all better so that when you got to deal with people, you're in a better frame of mind. Poetry saves lives. I always say that.